beloved Busta Rhymes. One, two. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Congratulations, brother. You gonna make the official wrong side tonight.
Thank you so much to the Windows of Hip Hop for considering me and choosing me for this beautiful accolade and acknowledgement and fucking huge flower. Thank y'all, everybody out here. I'm gonna talk for a second. So, me and Special Ed went to an elementary school in Brooklyn called PS 181. East Flatbush, Brooklyn. New York Avenue between Snyder and Tilden, right? Snyder and Tilden. So, interestingly, around this time frame, my mother worked nights. And she had a close family friend that we called On Hyacinth. On Hyacinth had grown kids. And her oldest son named was Sean Duala. He's 5%. So he introduced me to the 5% Nation of the Gods and Earths. So he had a sister by the name of Michelle. And around this time, my moms would come get me like 6, 7 in the morning. And she would prepare me to go to school. And in the morning, I would see the Transformers at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Then you see Voltron, and then you see He-Man and shit. So, On Hyacinth moved, and my mom's had to find another babysitter for us. So she found this beautiful Panamanian woman by the name of Aunt Mitzi. And Aunt Mitzi had a son named Alfonso. And between Shandu and Alfonso, I was really getting a clear understanding of not only the proper introduction to hip hop, but how much I wanted to be a part of it, because it felt like a combination of all of the comic book superhero shit that I was into and all of the Transformers and the Voltron shit that I was watching in the morning. The interesting thing is when my moms came and got us from Aunt Mitzi's crib, on the way to school, it was a corner store on my block on 32nd between Tilden and Beverly and East Flatbush. And everybody's name in there was Pancho. So it didn't matter if it was a woman, we'd be like, hey, Pancho, man, Pancho, whatever, everybody was Pancho. So, you know, the store was there for years, so they kind of watched us grow up. So it was kind of like a family in a real community neighborhood, and it was the type of time frame where your neighbor could bust your ass if your moms were still at work. And it took the community to raise a child. It took a village to raise a child, and I was used to that. And I understood that, and I valued it, especially when you're living in the times that we're living in now. In any event, the point that I'm trying to make was I had this 9 o'clock curfew to go to bed because we had to get up early to go to school. I wasn't with the curfew. So the first thing I started to do when my moms and them had company on a weeknight and they got to playing some music, I was nice with the dancing shit, so on some James Brown shit and some Michael Jackson shit, and I would entertain the family so that they would forget to send me to bed.
All right, long.
So I was learning my little entertainment shit from young, but it was just because of circumstance. I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. I just knew I didn't want to go to bed. And that same thing happened to carry on once I was at the babysitter's cribs. I didn't want to go to bed when they were sending me to bed. So Fonzo was a graffiti artist. And Shondu was a member of the 5% Nation of the Gods and Earths. So between me watching Voltron and Transformers in the morning and seeing characters named Megatron and Optimus Prime, and then going to the store at the corner at the deli to get my Charleston chews and my lemon heads and
Chico stick.
Boston baked beans.
Red Hots.
All of these things, these moments left everlasting impressions on me because on the way to the school after I left the deli, I would see Shondu on the corner with other gods like God Khalifa and Lord Victorious and Supreme Magnetic, and they was building and they was talking about the total square mileage of the planet Earth and the total square mileage of land and water, how far was each planet from the sun, how much the Earth weighed. And I would go to school and I was like, damn, why they not teaching us this shit in school? So then I would go back to the corner and be fascinated by the gods building and having these Voltron and these Transformer names. Lord Victorious, Optimus Prime, that shit sounds similar. They talking all this outer space shit, they must be Voltron and Transformers for real. So between me being exposed to that and being taught that the black man and the original man is the maker and the owner and the cream of the planet and the father of civilization and God of the universe, I felt empowered for the first time in a way that my 7-day Adventist upbringing did not make me feel. In addition to that, I'm staying up late night when old Mitzi would tell me to go to bed because Fonzo would get the little black book with the graffiti pieces and then he would get the shoe polish where he would rip a strip of the chalkboard eraser off of it and fold it and put it in the shoebox and shake that shit up and go and tag in the subway and bomb subways and put these pieces up and come back with these stories to tell me. And I would wait up at night for him to come back and tell me these stories about how sometimes the subway police would chase them down or how they got into fights with other graffiti artists for fucking up their pieces and shit like that. And this shit would be so adventurous to me. I was living through these stories that he was telling me because I was too young to experience it firsthand. But what I did experience firsthand was the late night radio station that was called WHBI. And Supreme Team was on there. And Africa Islam was on there. And the station would play from like 2 to 5 in the morning. And none of my homies in my elementary school knew. They ain't know in my junior high school neither. So I used to lie to them niggas.
Got it.
I made the pause tapes. When Africa Islam and started talking, I would pause it and then rewind the shit a little bit and wait for them to stop and to stop recording. And I caught the Cold Crush battle and the Foursome D's, and I caught the Kumo D Busy Bee battles, and then I would ask the stories years later about these battles, where they was. And I never had Bally's money, and I never had Clark Swallaby's money. I didn't have Pumas and Adidas money. And I never fronted my family. I didn't come from struggle. I definitely came from the hood, but my family did an amazing job taking care of their babies. I did have my own 19-inch color TV. I did have Atari. I had ColecoVision. My nigga, I'm not one of them dudes that's gonna lie and be like, yo, I had to tie niggas up. And, you know, when I sat in a drug spot, I did it because I wanted to. It was exciting to me. And my mom's definitely was on some shit like, you're not gonna get nothing past a $40 pair of sneakers. But I wanted a $100 pair of sneakers. And being that I wasn't gonna get it from my mother, not that she wasn't giving it to me, she just made sure that I wasn't spoiled beyond my means. Value the shit that you get. So I I started to hustle, and when I wasn't comfortable with being able to hustle all the time, my hustle became those pause tapes. So I would take those Cold Crush battles, and I would take those Melly Mel moments and those Furious 5 and Flash moments.
Yeah.
It was a party night, everybody was shaking their hands. We even did that shit on a song called Trains, Planes, and Automobiles on the first Leaders of the New School album. We took their whole shit. I took Kaz's whole persona too. If y'all listen to everything about Leaders, it was Cold Crush.
Amen.
And I was Kaz in Leaders. Look at me in this motherfucker. I'm the puppet.
The Peppy.
So Kaz is my father. Mel is my other father. Chuck D is also my father. Chirac is my mother. And everybody else is the uncles and the godparents and et cetera, et cetera. The kinfolk, yes. But those pause tapes not only was able to help me buy the clothes that I wanted, but it taught me everything fundamentally about what it was to be an MC and how to be a showman and how to properly represent the culture and contribute to it in a significant way. And I'll never forget, we had did this show as Leaders of the New School. It was one of our first shows. It was an Electra Record showcase at Kilimanjaro. And it was called Hard to the Left. And it was Leaders of the New School, Brand New, B&M, Pete Rock, CL Smooth. And we fucked that, we destroyed that building. 2 songs only. And when I came off the stage, the first people that I saw was JDL, no, I think it was AD and Kaz. When I seen Kaz, and he looked at me and he was like, y'all remind me of us. That feeling I can't even explain because you can't pay for that type of acknowledgement. You can't pay for that type of love. You can't pay for that type of salute. And you on your Daniel San shit, hearing it from Mr. Miyagi, my nigga. So I'm saying all of this to say that 35 years of professionally recording, y'all now know me as Dr. Rhymes. Courtesy of my brother Amadeus and the Harvard University that gave me an honorary doctorate. But none of the things that I experienced in my life, down to being able to provide for my beautiful 6 children and create opportunities for Flip Mode Squad and a conglomerate and being able to share my gift. If my mother didn't sign my deal when I was 17, and if I didn't learn from these incredible teachers that y'all see on the stage with me, and if this thing wasn't created for us in the first place. Crazy Legs, I also want to acknowledge how much I was a wounded breakdancer trying to do the shit that y'all was doing. I never figured it out, but I did my best, and there was a brother named Johnny Juice Rosado who started DJing for Public Enemy. That was the closest thing to Rocksteady that we saw once I moved to Long Island, and he was Puerto Rican, and he was incredible with it. But I ain't gonna front. Everybody that is a part of who y'all are looking at in the flesh, that's alive, I took something from them to become me.
Amen.
And I would not exist if it wasn't for these architects and these teachers and these senseis. And I love them so much. And, you know, Kaz came through my listening session the week of my release of my last project on January 17th, and he brought the Mighty Mike C through. And I never met the Mighty Mike C before.
Yeah.
Great mind, I salute you, great mind. In my listening session, I was so fucked up emotionally, I didn't even know how to control it. Like, I had to stop the music and just make sure people understood who they was being blessed and graced with the presence of. I'm doing another listening session tomorrow because I'm dropping another project on Friday. It's at the same place, same time. So Kaz, please bring Mel. Mel, I don't care what you got going on, make time for your child, brother. Mighty Mike C, pull up again, please. Legs, pull up if you can. And everybody else that's done their part to represent the culture and make me and give birth to me, please come tomorrow. They know where it's at, they gonna tell y'all. Last but not least, I wanna thank Chuck D for giving me my name, Busta Rhymes. I didn't like that name in the beginning. My name was Chill O'Ski before that.
Oh, shit. You better thank him again.
Yeah, I'm glad I
Thank
changed
him
it.
twice.
No, but you gotta understand, at the time, all of my favorite MCs had three-part names. Grandmaster Kaz, Grandmaster Melly Mel, LL Cool J, Cool Rock Ski, Prince Monkey D. I wanted a three-part name. I ain't like the Busta Rhymes shit because my parents used to try to take me to get Busta Brown shoes and My father used to work at a department store as Maze. It was called Maze. Remember when Maze and Sears?
Damn.
And my father's a licensed electrical contractor and he used to deal with the upkeep and the maintenance of the electrical shit in Maze. He had a friend named Tom, and there was this Tama can and this Busta Brown shoe store across the street from Maze, downtown Brooklyn on Livingston. And he used to try to drag me in there, and I used to be like, you growling, man. Nobody in school think this shit is cool. Ed, no, because Ed wasn't wearing that shit neither. But Chuck D, again, gave birth to Busta Rhymes. They gave us the name leaders of the new school. But everything that made Chuck D feel like I was worth investing in was because of what Mel and Kaz and Cold Crush, Funky 4 plus 1 more, Fantastic Five, the fucking Crash Cruise, like all of that made me learn what I needed to do by the time I got to a Chuck D. So when Chuck D saw me, he already saw this beautiful student of the culture as a baby that was worthy of a shot. Busta Rhymes, I am tremendously grateful. I got a lot left to do. The problem is we was learning as we was going all along when we got to this point. Now I'm a sensei too. So this is where we start applying real pressure now. Thank y'all.
Y'all make some noise for Busta Rhymes. Make some noise. So, bring the music down.